So our first day in Białowieża didn't go quite as planned.
Can't believe what I've just found. It's another wolf kill.
But let's start from the beginning. We're up early and ready to look for the bison. So we geared up, we grabbed a quick coffee and set off on what can really only be described as the path less traveled.
Alex, what time is it?
Graveyard time. No, it's 7:20. We're walking through here to get to the bison. It's a bit of a weird route, but it's the one that Google Maps is taking us on. What's crazy is today's meant to be sunny. I don't know what that means.
This is sunny in the grand scheme of days, is it?
Yeah.
Getting a little bit creepy, getting a little bit like Outlast 2. Some of the real ones will know about that in the comments.
But finally we saw we were going in the right direction because we started to notice little bits of tracks in the snow.
Look, we've made it. We're at the home of the bison now. We're gonna follow a trail into there. I'm not really sure where it's taking us, but we've been given a warning to be careful. Good thing Finn speaks Polish. He'll be able to translate it for us, right, Finn? Okay, that's enough.
Okay, it's kind of offensive.
All right, anyway, we're gonna get in this way.
Yeah, we're kind of exiting the village, and now we're really into the back end of nowhere. I mean, look at this guy ballied up. He's about to rob a store. What the hell's wrong with
Bro,
this guy?
putting a valley to its real use. All right, guys, so we're fully on the track. It's gonna lead us into there, basically into the forest. This is prime bison territory. We think we might see some wolves potentially, because look, if you follow me over here, you've got to be careful because this looks like snow, but it's a frozen over river. But you see all those little patterns in the snow. They're all different types of tracks, and like from the size of them, they're looking like. Do you see the longer ones? I think those might be red deer, or probably the roe if they're a bit smaller. And then those little ones could be anything from little foxes to stoats. It's it's really a really incredible place. So we're going to follow the track down there, and I've instructed Finn to basically look out for anything that's brown and moving, because we're very lucky now that in the winter you see all the trees are stripped of their leaves, so everything jumps out a little bit more in the trees. That's that way. I've literally just seen something fly there. I think that might be an owl. Let's go, come on.
I've taken a tumble in filming my friend.
All right, guys, we're here. We're going to follow this path all the way down there. Either side of us, you just see a bunch of forest. It's quite hard for us to find the animals. The only advantage we've really got is the snow. But we're looking in there for probably some bison, some deer, maybe even a lynx, you never know. And in the trees, I've instructed my lovely cameraman over here to just look up and see if you see any sort of black dots in there, because they could probably be the owls, maybe a couple eagles, that sort of stuff. But anyway, you know what? Let's get in there. Let's go.
And not long after finding the tracks, we finally had our first wildlife sighting.
All right, guys, we've had our first sighting. There's literally just an eagle soaring around there. I've got a couple shots, first photos of the trip. We're literally, what, like 45 minutes in, we've already seen something. We got to see one last night, but it flew into the forest quite quickly. I'm feeling very optimistic, but no bison yet. So we're gonna go down there. That's gonna be the plan. We're feeling cold. We've all got like 6 layers on. How are you doing, Finn?
Honestly, probably like 8 layers. It's
yeah,
crazy.
It is cold out
I
here.
look at my hoosey.
And we've got, this is our trail. So you can see a slight indent there.
This is the trail, by the way.
Yeah.
So Google says there's like a
cooked,
clearly defined trail, and it's like a slight indent in the snow.
It's ridiculous. But we're gonna keep on going down that way, and we're gonna see what we can find.
And the bird was beautiful though.
It was amazing.
In the sky, like it was right up there.
So it was I think it was a white-tailed eagle. I'm gonna go back and fact check myself on
So
that.
majestic, it was just gliding slowly in the sky.
But we were lucky it got really close.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's letting us down for the photographers watching is that you can see the conditions are a little bit, they're not ideal. So we've had to bump up the ISO quite a bit, which has made it a bit less sharp than I would have wanted, but we still got the shot and that's what matters. Let's go, we're gonna keep on walking in that way.
And then hopeful that we'd seen something, we hit our first bump in the road. As we were definitely somewhere we should have avoided. And look, most people wouldn't include this in the video, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give you guys the full image so you appreciate just how happy we were when we finally saw the bison.
All right, guys, so little update. We're gonna head down there, but Finn, if you pan down, do you remember we thought that was a path? It turns out we're standing on a river. Well, actually the river's the little indent there, and this I think is a stream, because thinking on it, well, firstly we found out the path's on the other side, but this natural indentation wouldn't have come from an animal or from someone coming through and getting through it. It just looks like a little dip, which I think is a stream connecting to a river, and it feels a bit weird when we walk on it. So we're gonna turn around and we're gonna find the actual trail.
Hopefully
but you know what, this trail got us the eagle, so who knows what the actual trail is gonna find us.
Word.
Let's go that way. All right, guys, we're just on our way back up to the real trail. Look what we found. See down here? These are bison prints. This is the first sort of real print we've had confirmed. We saw a lot of the other ones before, I think they were smaller mammals. It's gone into the forest. So we're gonna loop around it and see what we can find. They look relatively fresh, but honestly, I'm not a trail expert. So if anyone is, just let me know in the comments. But we're gonna follow it that way and we're gonna see what we can find. But I was just saying to my cameraman here, I think we're really not ready for what these guys are gonna look like. They stand at about 2 meters tall, 900 kilos. And me and Finn don't weigh quite that. So I think they've got us on that front. But we're gonna go look for them. Oh, no, thought I saw one. We're gonna look for them nonetheless. We're gonna go that way, okay guys? Let's go.
We then walked honestly 50 meters in the other direction and we finally found the trail. Yeah, it's definitely safe to say that we're still getting used to our surroundings here.
So guys, I think this might be the trail. It was marked on maps. I think we just took a wrong turn and we ended up in the middle of a field and walking on a river. But we're getting used to this place. So now we're gonna follow that down there and apparently it's gonna swivel round into the main sort of field, and that's where the bison hopefully will be. So far we're an eagle in, we've seen a lot of tracks. I think we've seen bison, some roe deer. I don't know, we've not seen any bison yet, but we're only about an hour and a half in now.
The bison feet are ginormous. I'm starting to get
so
a little
big.
bit.
So I think the biggest thing now is just to keep on exploring, to get a lay of the land, come back again this evening, and I think this evening we'll get something for sure. But look, you never know, we might get something now. All right guys, we're gonna have to get close. We've just heard a wolf down there. We're gonna have to be really, really quiet. We're gonna walk down this path and see what it was, but we just heard like a very distinctive bark, like a howl sort of sound. This is really special, it's very cool. All right, let's go.
Our first time hearing wolves was something I'll never forget. And it was honestly just a quick reaction like that. We heard them, almost up the speed, went straight into the forest just to see what we could find really.
All right guys, we think we found a woodpecker. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's just over there, I think. We're gonna see if we can have a look. You see it hitting against the tree. It can't be far with how loud it is. All right guys, so we've been very lucky. We've had basically just a bunch of forest birds come by here. We've had a woodpecker. We've had a few what look like tits, but I'm gonna have a look in a bit when we get back home. But they've been really cute. It's been bouncing around everywhere. We managed to get some good shots, some good footage. So we keep on looking for the bison. We'll see what we'll find. But we've already seen an eagle, about 3 or 4 different species of birds. Great start to the trip.
So with our first morning trail completed, the next thing to do was to basically just pick up some food. And I can't emphasize enough on trips like these, it's so important that you refuel well, because when you're going through such low temperatures, thick snow, using so much energy, it's really, really important to get that food in. So with the day being quite short, I ate quickly, didn't have too much time to rest. I basically just uploaded the photos, had a quick look, and then headed back out there because the evening shoot was gonna kick off at midday.
All right guys, so I've headed back out. It's just me now, no Finn, because he's had to do some work. I'm following this path that our Airbnb lady told us to follow for an open clearing with bison. So hopefully I find some, hopefully I don't get too close to the wolves here. That is a slight fear, because I mean, look at the forest I'm walking by. And the wolf packs here are pretty big. So hopefully we see some, but from a safe distance. Anyway, I'll see if I can find anything. All right guys, I've just heard some sounds coming from over there. Look where I am, what is this? I feel so lucky to be here. I'm so excited. I wish Finn could be here because I think we might be able to see a bison around the corner. I've heard some sort of like grunting. It's looking very interesting because the thing is it's dead silent, so any sounds you can hear them from miles away. Wow. I think the plan now is going to be, I'm going to walk up that way probably 20 meters, and I think there's a clearing where we've been told there's a big herd. So hopefully we find them, but there's obviously no promises of wildlife photography. This is so exciting, I can't believe it. 3 days traveling, we're finally here. Come on, okay. Hopefully your next slide will be a video of the bison, we'll see.
And look, whilst the scenery was just really incredible, the sight of the filming of Narnia, which still sounds crazy to say now, it wasn't long before I came across one of nature's harshest realities.
You're not gonna believe what I've just found. Look at this. I'll put in some photos in the video, but that's the remains of a bison likely to have been hunted down by the wolves here. As I was saying, they've got one of the biggest wolf packs in Białowieża forest, one of the biggest in Europe, and the wolves themselves are pretty huge. I mean, clearly big enough to hunt down a bison. This is crazy, and it means we're probably on the right path. So I'm just gonna try and stay safe, try and keep a distance, but I think it looks pretty fresh, so I think we're on the right path for sure.
And look, although Finn abandoned me on this walk, definitely not still salty about that, by the way, mate, I had to call him to show him what I'd found. And it only got more exciting from there. Because literally maybe 20, 30 meters up the road, I found my first bit of bison scat, otherwise known as poo. And I can safely say I've never been so excited to see poo in my life.
It's really cold out here, probably the coldest it's been yet, but I think I'm on the right track. Look at this. I think it's safe to say that the bison are probably here. I'm following the track down between all this feces and the dead bison earlier. I reckon definitely on the right path. So we're gonna look, and I'm just hoping to find a bison before a wolf finds me, to be honest.
But all jokes aside, when you find any sort of evidence of life in places like this, it's so exciting because it really just tells you you're in the right place, keep going.
All right, guys, so been looking for about an hour and a half now. I've seen the carcass of the bison, I've seen the feces, but as you can see, it's just so much land to cover. So I'm crossing, looking as hard as I can for them, but been out here for about 2 hours now, still nothing. We're gonna keep on going. The plan's to follow the path down there, see what's happening there, and then probably go back to where I found the carcass. It's been good though, it's always nice to be out here, but it's definitely a little bit scary because these wolves I'll pop up some photos, but they're pretty big, and the forest is famous for them, and I'm out here by myself.
And so the hours passed by, and I just had to keep going. I had to shut out those thoughts of that cozy Airbnb, the warm coffee I could be having at home while I was out here freezing my ass off, looking for animals that just didn't seem to be anywhere. But for anyone who's done any wildlife photography or any looking about in nature, they'll tell you that you can walk for hours, see nothing, you turn a corner, and then you have the most incredible sighting you've ever had. I had to remember I trained hard for this, I was prepared, I had to just keep on walking, shut out that pain, and see what I could find, really.
Okay, so update, we've still not found it, but look, the number one thing is I'm not gonna stop walking until we find them. If it turns out they've hidden that well, then fair enough, there's nothing I can do. But one thing I can tell you is I'm not gonna give up. I've trained so hard for this. I feel ready, I'm not tired. Done about 30,000 steps, we're gonna keep on going. And also look, worst case, even if we don't find them, look at the walk we're having now. How beautiful is this? So yeah guys, hopefully this cuts to a scene of the bison, but even if it doesn't, I'm having a great time. Hope you guys are enjoying. Let's see what we can find. Can't believe what I've just found. It's another wolf kill. This time it looks like they've got a red deer. It's pretty gruesome and it looks pretty fresh. Definitely not comforting to know that a red deer is bigger than me and this thing's been absolutely demolished. Fucking hell.
Shocked and honestly quite scared of what I just found. I had to call Finn and I had to show him what I'd just come across. And if I'm honest, this one was a little bit less about giving him FOMO and making him feel bad for leaving me. This one was because when you're out there by yourself, you do want to feel like someone's with you, as stupid as that sounds, even just on a phone. Because it's one of those moments where I look back on it and I think, wow, to that wolf, I'm definitely victim weight. So I look for an hour or so longer and I can already hear my girlfriend's frustration as I keep on looking after having found a few wolf kills. But look, I didn't want to call it a day yet. While there was still light outside, I wanted to keep going, keep exploring, because you actually never know if that extra bit of distance would have made the difference. Because like anyone in wildlife will tell you, turning a corner can make the world of a difference and give you the shot of a lifetime.
This is crazy, it's like the pure wilderness. But that stag is a lot bigger than me, so it's really got me quite worried now. You know, I'm out here by myself, so definitely from now on, I'm forcing Finn to come out with me. Today's been, look, I'm in shock, but today's been crazy. It's been an amazing adventure. Just exploring like the complete wilderness in a place I've never been to and seeing some amazing things. Look, it's tough to watch, but it's a cycle of life. It's an important part of the story to tell. I'm not sure what we're gonna find, but I'm gonna keep on going until we find something. I can definitely tell you, I'm feeling very glad I put in so much training before, because I think I've got in now probably like 40K steps with this big camera on my back. And look, the biggest thing is, once I get there, if I see the animal, I don't want to be exhausted, because then I'd have to pick up the camera, start shooting, and it would just make it so much harder. I wanna be calm, I wanna be composed. And that's why I'm so grateful I did all the training before. Because if not, I wouldn't be able to make the most out of this amazing place. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely crazy. Completely wild, I haven't seen another person. Seen 2 wolf kills. It's only a matter of time, I know we're gonna find that bison. So this shows you how much of wildlife photography is purely luck. See that? That's some bison scat. I've walked past this path about 2 hours ago. I'm on my way back now, and this definitely was not there. So it just shows you, if I was timed it a little bit different, I might have seen them. It's really frustrating, but you know what? It is what it is. I've enjoyed my walk today. I've seen a lot of cool stuff. But look, tomorrow we're gonna come back again and we're gonna put in those steps and see what we find. That's all you can do. And look, maybe we'll get a bit luckier. Today we saw at least some birds at the start of the morning, which were lovely. but no bison on day 1. We'll see what day 2 brings. All right, guys, we just come back now, 3 hours, and we didn't come face to face with an animal. At least not an alive animal. We saw 2 big wolf kills, and that was insane. But anyway, we're back at the Airbnb now. I'm back with my lovely partner, Finn. He's done he's been working hard this evening, but I'm dragging him out tomorrow, taking him where I went, because I think if I went a little bit further, we could have seen the bison. But as you can see, the light's sort of giving up on me now. We've got about 2 minutes left of light, and then it's gonna go pitch black.
So with the evening shoot wrapped up, I got back to the Airbnb, and Finn was pretty keen to do some exercise because he'd just been working all day. So we got in a quick gym session, or I don't even know if you can call it that. We got in some pull-ups on the stairs, some press-ups. We got in some sort of team clap press-up things, and then we got in this exercise, which is honestly just crazy. It's a bicep tricep superset using a towel. All you need is you, a towel, and your friend. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear more about that, but that is honestly top travel tip if you've got someone going around with you. But anyway, we got the session wrapped up quickly, and we made sure to get in our recovery before dinner.
All right, guys, we've had a long walk. Freezing, it's now minus 15 degrees. But we're gonna go hop in there, we're gonna hop in the sauna. Finn, how are you feeling?
This makes it look like it's not too cold, but trust me, you can do like a minute like this, and we got to get right back indoors again. Because the walk this morning was a couple of hours, and even with 7 layers, my fingers are falling off my ears. We've earned the sauna.
No, the sauna's gonna be good for recovery, and then we're gonna hit another one, I think, tomorrow, so it'll be good. See you soon, guys.
And the sauna was just lovely. It was probably the most special one I've been in, right in the middle of the forest, built, handmade by our Airbnb host. It was incredible. And it was a great place to talk over our plans for tomorrow's expedition. Because tomorrow was our first properly big all-day walk. We were gonna head out about an hour before sunrise and stay out the whole day until about half an hour before sunset when our final team member would come through. So with the day wrapped up, we headed to our local food shop and we picked up innovative dinner is probably the best way to describe it, and a few essentials for the next day as we'd be eating out in the forest. But this sounds a lot smoother than it actually went down, because when we got there, obviously we don't speak Polish, they don't speak English, so Google Translate was definitely our best friend. But with the food shop done, the next day all planned, the only thing that was left to do was to have a drink and have some pierogi and call it an early night. So thank you to everyone that's made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching and supporting this dream. Because honestly, this trip has been a trip of a lifetime and the first of many in this series of training to enjoy the environment, showing the environment, and then showing the payoff at the end. So make sure you subscribe, click the post notifications button, add a like, let me know what you liked, let me know what you'd like to see in the future, and stick around because in the next episode, we finally find the bison.